Hey, Coach. Just how did you feel the guys executed, especially down the stretch?
I mean, George had a great look from three to put us up four. Um, I we did a hell of a job. You know, sometimes your execution doesn't end up in a basket. Sometimes when you don't execute, a guy hits a tough shot. So this game, to me, we had a player that's just been as hot as anyone in the league against us in a given game. I thought our guys came out. The best execution is what they did in the second half, trying to get out of his hands. The challenge with that is, when you've got Beasley and Hardaway on the floor, you're going to give something up, when you're trapping. So, but I think we executed, and it, got us some momentum. It changed the game a little bit, and we competed. A lot of good things that we did tonight. Obviously didn't get the result that we wanted, but hopefully it's something we've talked a lot about getting better, and I've said this before that there's times when you don't get the result you want, but you get better if you learn from the things that are going on the court. And this is a team with a bunch of guys that haven't played together all year. Mo's been in the G League, Harris, Terrence, George. It's four right there, Larry and Veet. You start counting it up, and you got, one way or the other, 6, 7 new players at a trade deadline, with one practice. So I say that not as an excuse, but as a compliment to how connected these guys are and how hard they're playing and how hard they're trying to play together in some situations that are difficult, given some of the change. Pretty good contrast to what the Pistons are doing right now, and you can see how connected they are. They're playing really, really well, and you see it. And so, again, for our guys to compete throughout the course of the game and be right there, is really good, and also makes it really hard when you don't come out on the end you want.
Zach injected a lot of energy into the game tonight as well. He had quite a few threes. Just we talked so much about his growth, but him closing out in this situation, a close game. What did you see from him that showed you that he's continuing to develop in the right path?
I'm not as focused on a singular game. We've talked about this a lot. He's getting better, and it doesn't matter whether he's having a really good game or he's had a tough game. But the things that you saw him do tonight, he's done all those previously, whether it's making shots, getting out in transition, defending. So I think the challenge for Zach and for any player is to continue to become more consistent in those situations. And obviously, I have confidence in him.
Coach, you kind of touched on this a little bit, but with the trapping and everything, that obviously allows Malik Beasley to be open. He scores the 16 points in that second half. Just what did you see from his looks that he was getting, and was it like something on defense that you guys could have done different?
Yeah, I mean, when you guard Cunningham with two players, and someone's cutting to the basket, you have to guard the guy in the basket, and then you have to rotate. And I thought our rotations were pretty good. They weren't perfect. There was a couple times that we rotated off him to an open player. We cleaned that up, but hats off to he's a pretty good shooter. Does he lead the league, or he's close in percentage, and he's going to shoot a lot of them. So he shot 10 against us previously, and again, you go into the game with a game plan to take away his threes, and it's either easier said than done. Particularly when there's an offensive rebound or something like that. So you try to control as much as you can. When Cunningham gets 29 in the first half, that's your focus as well. So they're a good team. They're a good team, and the fact that we're talking about two players kind of in some ways doesn't do them justice with whether it's Duran or Hardaway or Tobias. So they're a good team, and we played hard. we played together. We didn't win, but we did a lot of good things.
Coach, you talked about the integration of the new players. Is it difficult for you sometimes to find the right match because everybody's new, like you said, 6 or 7 guys?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's no right and wrong. Cunningham was making shots in the first half, and some of them were deep. Dyson's on him, and we kept that matchup. We trapped a little bit, and then we went back to Dyson guarding him. Then we trapped him with other guys guarding him, and not with Dyson. And then we switched and had Zach guard him, try to guard him, and then we trapped when Zach was guarding him. Then we switched with our smalls in pick and roll, and we hit him off the switch. Then we blitzed him when pick and roll with the 5. So that's what I'm saying about what these guys did. It was good. And, we can get better, and these are the types of games. It's really hard to go in the locker room and say that to your team and have it really resonate because they want to win, So all those situations, we've got a guy in Terrence that can really defend. Karras has scored the ball for us, at a high level, but Zach was playing well tonight. Clint gave us really good minutes. So sometimes, you're feeling the game, and you're not always right. And frankly, you could be more right or more wrong. We don't know what that alternative is in kind of the alternate universe. And so our guys just made everything work, and they believe in what we're doing. That's the most important thing for me. That they're bought in together and working to execute together. Okay?